Well, here we are again. This isn't particularly exciting, but it's a different way of doing it. As you'll see, it does loop, although the colours don't. I forgot to do that bit. What we've got is a TORUS knot, which is actually, you don't have to construct this. If you download Mesh Extras, it's in there, and Blender. We're looking down on it vertically, so we're looking down the Z-axis in Blender, and it's keyframed to revolve 359 degrees on the Y-axis. The TORUS knot, when you actually add it from the mesh menu, needs a fair bit of subdivision on it, and also smoothing, otherwise you get really jagged edges. Now we'll put it on render. It cycles render because we're using a volume here, and Eevee won't handle volumes. Just to show you here, all these along the bottom are just giving the colour. If we just take that out, we just get white. That's just a colour ramp, and it's again keyframed from the factor. It goes from 0 to 1 obviously, and it's keyframe 0 at frame 1 and 1 at frame 300. I'll just plug all this back in. This we're plugging into is a colour mix node set to multiply, and as you can see, as it plays through, the colours basically follow the spectrum in the colour ramp. It's simple. Blue at one end to red at the other, and sort of yellowy green in the middle. As you see, the shapes are just the same, beginning and end, so it is looping, or nearly the same. I think I might be a frame or two out, but not to worry. I forgot to check. Basically what we do, an input geometry node. This is all in the shader editor, by the way, not animation editor. And we're going to separate the XYZ vectors. We only want the Z one, because what we're doing, we're climbing up in little steps, so slicing on the vertical axis. We have a greater maths node greater than nothing, and then another maths node less than just a little bit of something. That's virtually the slice thickness. We multiply those together, then we have to multiply them again just to make sure it'll show up properly. If we set it to 10, you'll see it fades to nearly nothing. You just keep banging that up till you get a decent sort of solid colour. The value that is in here. Put 1 in, and you can't hardly see it at all. It is there, but you can hardly see it. So we'll bang it up to about 1,000. Seems to work fine. It doesn't seem to mind what you bang it up to. Probably get away with 500 actually, but I think I went overboard originally in the render, and used 1500, but sorry it's rendering so slowly. I'm so used to EV now, when we have to go to cycles renderer, it slows the job down. These colour ramps, you'll see it's set, normally it's on RGB. Get it big, see where the factor is, because, you know, starts at nothing, keyframed. And we go to the other end and keyframe it again at 1. So it runs from red to blue. It can run from any colour you like. To make sure, as a default, it's set to RGB. It wants to be on HSV, and either far or near. It doesn't seem to make a big difference. You can change these colours to anything you like. You can also put extra stops in if you want, but we'll go back to blue though, because that's what it is. It gives you roughly a full spectrum. We'll go to RGB here, because it's easier to get solid blue. It's not coming out solid blue. I think the light's a bit bright, but not to worry. And I think we've about done. There is a tutorial on this, but the bloke goes at about 100 miles an hour. It's a YouTube video. I will put a link in for it. You can slow YouTube videos down, of course. I mean, you can play them at quarter speed, half speed, 1.5 speeds, and of course, obviously, the speed is default as 1. I think that's pretty much it for today. It's just interesting. You could use Boolean modifiers to do this with just a plane as a slicer, but this is a slightly purer way of doing it.